Okay, we're going to start here, and this is welcome to Judge's Maple Syrup. This is a short tour of our operation, and it will give you an inside view of what goes on in the process of making maple syrup. Enjoy your tour. Here we have a shot of the tubing in the bush. This here is the main line that goes past the tree. We have a little line that comes around to each tree, and there's a line that goes up in a spile, and that's where it's drilled into the tree, and the sap comes out into here and flows down into the main line. This is another shot of the bush. You can see the main line coming along here with the smaller lines going out, and there's another picture with the small lines going along to each tree. There's a close-up shot of the main line coming up through the bush, and these are the manifolds. It's actually where the small line fastens onto. So the sap comes down the line here and into the main line. This is a shot of the sugar camp where we boil the syrup. We bring the sap in these wagon tanks, park them there, and then pump it off. There's another view of the sugar camp. The steam flying and the snow on the ground. This is our friendly dog. It's actually my brother's dog. Her name is Sandy. She's a yellow lab, and she's a interesting character of a dog. She was peeking out at me, so I snapped a shot of her. Another shot of the sugar camp. Dog actually coming out to talk to me. And nice to have a blue sky with steam flying. That's always a beautiful picture. Another shot there with steam flying. And here we got the tractor we use. We have a Case IH MX120 that we use to bring the sap in from the different woodlots. Another close-up of Sandy. She's sitting there in Jerry's truck. She gets bored after a while, so she sits there and waits for somebody to come and play with her or talk to her. So here you can see this wagon tank, plastic tank. It's still about half full. There we pump it off out of the tank through this green or through this black line, and comes in through, and this is the pump actually. It pumps it, comes in here, this black line, and goes out the green hose up top and through a special sap filter that helps to take out some of the, if there's any dirt or anything in it, cleans up the sap. And we pump it up into an overhead tank. This tank is, you can see the line there, how it's just about a third full right now, and then it comes out this big white pipe out the bottom, gravity flow, and into the sugar camp, into where the evaporator is. Now half of it comes down into the front pan and through this elbow and into the copper pipes. And in this top section here, there's a series of copper pipes that run from here to the back, and then they turn and come forward again, then they come out this line here. So the sap goes into the preheater. It's called a preheater. It goes in cold and comes out almost boiling, just almost too warm to touch. It's all heated by the steam from the pan. The sap actually comes into this bottom part here and is cooked here, and the steam comes up through and heats up the cold sap in those pipes, and then goes up the chimney, the steam chimney. This is just a picture of inside the pan. Here's where the sap actually comes through the preheater. You can see the sap foaming and boiling and bubbling in there. Another angle of the same part of the pan. Then this here is the back pan that we have, is called a piggyback unit, and in its day was fairly advanced. There's not too many people using piggybacks anymore. Incidentally, we don't use any RO machines. We do all of ours with evaporation, and we feel it gives us a very good quality flavor. So here we have the piggyback unit is in a separate pan up high here. So the sap comes in, goes into the top pan and warms, heats it there, does some evaporation, and then it drains down in into the bottom pan through this back little copper pipe there. And there's a picture of the same. And that's standing from the back of the evaporator unit, looking back forwards from where we just were up there. There's a little peephole at the front of the evaporator where you can look in and see the fire. So that's the orange flame you see there. I took a picture through that little peephole. And right up top here, well, the white part is a wall. Partway back there's a wall, and then the flame and the heat has to go straight up, right up to the pans. You can see these black strips here. That's the bottom of the pans. They're flue pans, and the sap sits in there, and then the heat can get up and in between and helps it to boil faster. There's another shot of the actual burner itself. It's a twin burner. It burns about 34 gallons, US gallons of fuel, furnace oil per hour. It creates about 1100 horsepower in BTUs. And here's a picture of the front. That's the peephole, and right there's the two pictures we just looked at, looking at the fire. This is the control panel, which starts and stops the unit. After the sap is done boiling in the big main unit, which is fired by Thunderbolt oil-fired arch, then the sap comes out this pipe at the back here and comes forward into this smaller finishing pan. The finishing pan is an open-topped unit, flat pan. It's not flue bottom, it's a flat bottom. You can see in here the different sections, small sections, and you can see the syrup bubbling away in there. This is another picture of the finishing unit, finishing pan, also oil fired. Here you can see the different flues. Each corner, every other corner, there's a little opening, so the sap comes in here, goes into this one, across, back, and it keeps moving back and forth, and then it comes out and moves into the back pan. And when it gets in the back pan, it's getting darker and darker. It moves through the different sections, and when it gets to the very back, then it is getting very close to done. And here's the back corner where we actually take the syrup off. And there's another picture of the syrup coming off. We've taken it off manually. You can get automatic takeoffs. We've never used any of those. We just take it off manually. My brother Jerry's kind of the syrup man. He watches it and takes it off. And we go by temperature, and unfortunately this thermometer is upside down. If you can see it there. But the thermometer's upside down just because of the way it works out when it threads in. But 0 is boiling water, so we set it at 0, stick it in a kettle of boiling water, and we can calibrate it to be at 0 at boiling water, which is 212 Fahrenheit, I believe. Syrup, when it's done, is at 7 degrees above boiling water, which is 219 Fahrenheit, and which is 104 or something like that Celsius. So we take it off when it gets to the 7, and then it turns out about right. This is after it comes out of the finishing pan, it goes into this filter system. Here you can see the 3 layers of filter. There's a layer of felt, and then the top here is actually 2 layers of nylon, which helps to take the dirt and stuff. And the felt takes makes it nice and shiny. We pour it into these stainless steel buckets or containers, and then as soon as it has drained into that container, we lift it up into this table and drain it out into our containers. Here I'm filling a 4-liter US gallon, and we also have other sizes as well. That's the 4-liter gallon that we're filling there. Here is a 1-liter or 1 quart size that we use, a glass 1 liter. That's my son with putting the labels on. After it's packaged, we seal it hot, and once it's sealed hot, then it can be kept for nearly an indefinite period of time without refrigeration. Here's a bunch of 4 liters we've got filled. Here's in a small assortment of our sizes. We have the 1-liter tin, which we sell some of, the 4-liter, and that's a 2-liter, 1-liter, and a 500 ml plastic. Those are our main sizes. And then we have a 1-liter glass, a 500 glass, and we also have a 250 ml glass as well. Those are our main sizes. One of the byproducts of making maple syrup and the evaporation process is distilled water. We have a couple collection pipes here which bring it in from the preheater in the piggyback unit, and we have them pouring into this blue barrel, and then we use that water to wash our filters. We have an old apartment size washing machine here that we pour the water in, then we can wash the filters in that. It's basically boiling hot water that does a very good job of cleaning the filters. And there's Sandy again, sitting outside waiting for someone to come and talk to her. Funny dog. That's my other son. He's inside one of the 1,500 gallon tanks. We take hot water, pails of hot water inside, and have the brush and actually go in there and brush them out in between each load. So, each tank we wash out, probably 4 tanks a day minimum. Every time we bring them in and unload them, even if they're only half full, we'll rinse them out, wash them out, just to help keep the quality of the sap and the syrup in good shape. There you can look inside, you can see the 2 pails. We usually carry 2 pails, one to wash and then one to rinse, and that helps to keep our quality up. So that's the end of this short tour. I hope you enjoyed it, and give you a chance to see a little bit of an inside story of what's involved in making maple syrup. Thanks again for watching.